Okay, so a few minutes on training at home for golfers and how you could use training at home, okay, as part of your golf. So training at home, we're assuming basically you don't really have much equipment. It's mainly bands, bodyweight exercises, that sort of thing. If you have a good setup at home where you've got dumbbells and barbells and kettlebells and everything, then this doesn't really apply. So we're talking about minimal equipment here. So training at home, there's so much you can do, and it is often down to imagination because maybe we're used to gym exercises and machines maybe and free weights that we're used to our traditional exercises, but it's down to imagination as well. But also a little bit of where you're starting from and your training experience, maybe level of fitness as well. So, for example, if you're a complete newbie, complete beginner, doing bodyweight exercises, you can see improvements in strength, no problem. So it's nice and easy to see improvements at home. Obviously, with more experience, it becomes a little bit more challenging, and you just have to, again, use your imagination a little bit more. And you do get a little bit stuck, so you can make things harder by adding reps, but then you're maybe training a bit more endurance compared to strength. Now, not necessarily a bad thing, depending on what time of season it is and what your goal is. So, for example, if we're at early days in the off season, if you have an off season, you want to train that hypertrophy endurance, and then you want to layer on top your strength and layer on top your max strength and power as you get closer to your season or looking to sort of peak. So it depends. But now, here's the thing. If you stuck doing home training, say squats, 2 sets 12, 2 sets 15, 2 sets 20, and then just sort of plateaued out around there and just kept doing a similar sort of thing, you're not improving anymore, you're just plateauing forever if you're doing the same sort of thing. Now there's ways of making it harder and easier, maybe reducing rest time, maybe training more times a week, adding more sets, but again, we're not then necessarily going to improve your golf because you're not improving strength, max strength, power. We're just then really still focusing on maybe hypertrophy, endurance end of things, which again can cross over into golf, but we're really not optimizing what we could get out of our training. We're just still focusing on that foundation level. I'm all for foundation training, or I'm calling foundation training in this video, where it's sort of creating a base of that hypertrophy and endurance. And I think it's fantastic to spend a bit of time in that stage. If you're a complete newbie, you might be spending a lot of time in that stage, and it might not be that you really have a big peak within a year. It might be a little peak where you spend most of the time doing hypertrophy and endurance type work, a bit of strength, and then you hit onto a little bit of power, but really then you're working back, just making sure to build up a bit of muscle and build up that foundation. Additionally, lots of mobility work. You can do lots of mobility work at home, don't need a lot of equipment at all for that. So that's pretty straightforward to do at home.